The Middle Ages was noted for its growth in all aspects of agriculture. During this historical era throughout Europe, Neolithic people began tilling up the land for farming, and they captured wild animals that seemed to have useful and beneficial traits. Some people in Europe during this time were hunter-gatherers, as no evidence of permanent housing has been found. However, in other European countries, peasants were the most notable people who worked on the land, which was ruled by lords. It is unknown who established the first principles of farming. However, both nomadic people and peasants began growing their own food and livestock around the same time. These so-called farmers found native plants that they considered beneficial to them and began planting them in soil. Concentrating desirable plants within a particular area was how farming first originated. Although there was success in growing crops such as wild grains, the yields of the crops were extremely low due to weather, competition for soil nutrients, and from a lack of expertise in farm and land management. Most farmers during this time used a field system to plant and harvest crops in, meaning that they would designate a field for crops to grow in during the winter months, another for summer months, and a third field that was not cultivated. This led to nutrient depletion among the fields, and farmers constantly found themselves moving to a new allotment of land as a solution. Through trial and error, farmers realized what crops prevailed in certain seasons. A horse or an oxen were typically used to till up the soil with a lightweight wooden plow. These farmers were in constant competition with native weeds. Weeds began to deprive the crop of its required resources, and consequently, crop yields were negatively impacted. The factors of temperature and precipitation played a worrisome factor on the success and survival of the planted crops. Crop failures resulted in hardships, especially famine. Over time, more proficient tools were invented. Heavier-duty plows were made with iron that dug deep into the soil. The iron plow was the most significant technological innovation by allowing for better field drainage, access to the most fertile soils, preserving labor time, stimulating food production, and as a consequence, population growth, specialization of function, urbanization, and the growth of leisure. The agricultural revolution in this time period had a tremendous effect on the society. Agriculture enabled previously nomadic people to settle down in an area in order to care for their crops. This led to the development of permanent villages and economies established as trading occurred. With a respectable growing season, a surplus of food also allowed for people to store grains like wheat and barley, enabling them to prevail through difficult months of drought. Farming is most noted for maintaining natural resources, producing nutritious food, and safeguarding biodiversity for the benefit of future generations. During the Middle Ages, farming rightfully earned its entitlement as the backbone of the economy. This agricultural revolution was essential for the emergence of cultures nationwide and is acknowledged for its positive impact on the world.